in 2016, and I'm often asked why we call it the Devi Awards. Women, after all, don't want to be worshipped. They don't want to be put on a pedestal. They don't want to be elevated meaninglessly. We want what everyone else wants. We want life, liberty, equality. We're already doing all the heavy lifting, and the women here today are exemplars of that, in homes, in fields, in factories, in laboratories. And we raise children or we don't. We build values, we're carers, nurturers, builders of future generations. But for too long, I think we've neglected ourselves. Moments like these are critical, and I think they're critical to remind us of who we are, who we can be, and what we can achieve. So today you will see and hear from extraordinary women who've been working across science, cinema, the arts, business, medicine. These are women who've held each other up, and they've walked through doors that wouldn't open, and they've kept them open for others to walk through, which is what I really like about them. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Hyderabad. And we begin the ceremony. Please post, like, use pictures, quotes, whatever, but don't forget to hashtag Devi Hyderabad. Thank you so much. We'll begin with a panel discussion with some wonderful women. There's Geeta Bhaskar. Could we have you on stage? Chef Nikita and Mritika Santoshini. So we'll begin with a quick panel discussion and then we do the Devi Awards. Thank you. So I'd like to start with Geeta, I think, because she's a well-known actor. And
oh my God.
and I saw her in Sita Raman, right?
Okay.
And I loved it, and I loved her in it. So how did you do that, Geeta?
First of all, namaste all. Wonderful evening to all of you. Yes, I'm not an actress. I would like to be called an art teacher first. You know that, isn't
Yeah.
it? So, Sita Ramam, because my son was there in the movie, they also wanted me because I was always also into movies. When I was 58, I got the chance to act in Fida. Before that, I did a short role in my son's short film, Anukokunda, which was award-winning. And from there on, I was taken into Fida. And Sita Ramam, they wanted me to be in the same scene, and I was really excited to act with my son in the same scene.
I've heard about Nepo kids, but you're the first Nepo mom, I think. That's nice.
I know. I had an event of Hydra of late at Ravindra Bharati, and I was so happy. It happened to be that my son was the chief guest, and I was the curator of the program. So, rightly said. I felt, I felt really happy, and I was really excited about it. It was at the end of the, almost before the release, they wanted some scenes. So, but then it happened so that they wanted him for another scene, and then again I was cut off. I was with only Rashmika. So,
That's
no
all
regrets.
right. She's a national crush,
Yes,
right? So
yes.
it's okay.
I'm so happy. I'm so proud. Even for that little, few seconds that I was there, I'm proud to be a part of that film.
Yes. So, Mritika, let's talk a little about the work that you do, which is both making movies and writing a lot across genres.
Yes.
So, I think you've done a heroine-oriented movie.
Subject,
which is not the easiest thing to do in any film industry. So, what prompted you to do that?
Actually, I wonder why it did not, inspire anybody to do a heroine-oriented subject, because we grew up as Indians listening to the most women subject. In every Purana, all mythologies, all history, be it Jhansi Rani to the Indira Gandhi and Jayalalitha, whoever it is, like beyond political boundaries, these women are the people who have inspired the entire society genderless. It's like, even men were intimidated by them. Having heard of these goddesses and growing up in a society like that, I wonder what stops anybody from putting women first in the heroine's place. And then,
according to them, it's the box office. Women-oriented movies don't make money at the box office, but you won't know it if you don't try it, right?
Yes, yes. So that was one reason. And the second reason is my roots, like where my grandmother herself was a very strong and independent woman from her times. And my mom has been an influence for me. And then it just like happened. This script, I wouldn't call it a heroine subject. It's just a woman doing the hero. She's the hero of the film, where we are talking about child abuse in all movies, and we read that horrible stuff on papers, but we do not know how many male children are being abused in the society. It's not only the women kids. We always say, like, teach your men how to behave with the children. No, it's like when it comes to children, even boy children are unsafe. And I thought man protecting another man is very not interesting. I thought let the woman, the mother, who is the heroine in real life, can protect her son. And that's how Valerie happened.
Wonderful. Nikita, being a chef is, I think, they're completely male-dominated kitchens usually. And I know I've been in a few kitchens where abuse flies, knives fly, and, it's not the nicest place for a woman to be in. But you've done very well for yourself.
First of all, good evening to everyone, and thank you so much for having me. And rightly said, it is a male-dominated industry, which is what we are looking to change, because I think we all grow up with our mums cooking in the kitchen, and what makes it suddenly different in a professional kitchen is something really baffling for us as well, because we've always seen her being so organized, being multitasking all the time, and still putting out amazing plates of food for all, that is nutritious and really tasty. So while there was an instance where I was the only female chef in the kitchen that had 80 male chefs, so it is a narrative that we want to strongly change and say that it is such a skill that it is one of the life skills, and you can definitely monetize it, bring structure to it, and inspire more women to come around so that there's balance in the industry. Because I think the whole abuse and the knives flying around happens because there is no balance. There is sometimes not an awareness that there is another gender, there's, all sorts of people coming from different walks of life, and I have to be really cognizant of what I'm doing and what I'm saying. So that is definitely a narrative that we're all actively looking to change. And I'm glad right now that my kitchen has a lot of female chefs, in fact, more than the amount of male chefs, I would say.
Applause for that.
So, yeah,
When you say my kitchen, it's a very specialized field. It's craft chocolate, right?
Yes. Yes.
You are the...
I am currently the executive pastry chef and chocolatier at Manam Chocolate, Hyderabad. And
obviously very popular.
But otherwise as well, I think when I was with the ITC group of hotels, then I had 3 restaurants of my own, and currently I'm at this role. I've always encouraged more and more female chefs to come on board. And luckily, one of the ripple effects of me being a MasterChef India Telugu judge was that I always receive messages from girls saying, I show my profile to, I show your profile to my parents, and now they're slightly more assured that I can shine in this industry or I can do something in this industry. So that is a ripple effect that I just did not expect. It came about with so much awareness that you really can move a few things. And even if I can bring 2 female chefs into the kitchen and help them, mentor them to grow in this industry, I'd be really happy.
But pastry chefs are not the most celebrated for some reason. I can't understand why.
I'm not sure because we all want that little bit of meetha after our
Exactly,
dinners.
yeah, but
So I think as an industry, it was always glorified to say that, you know, you're specializing in something. It's always the
Yeah,
men that
some-
slightly came into the limelight. But I think we are changing that now. So,
Right.
yes.
Ritika, you know, so much about your work is about love and, you know, caring and kindness, which, as we all know, is clearly absent in real life now. You know, whether it's your gardening, your animals, I've seen your Instagram as well. Talk a little about how important it is.
Love, it is the most powerful energy which, underrated. It is so underrated in the society and even at home. We all carry love in our hearts, but how many of us, bother to express, convey through our behavior? It's not just you have to buy flowers to the women or you have to gift the people go purchase something and they call it love. That is not love. You have to show love through compassion, being empathetic, and by respect. Spend time with the senior citizens. Once they grow old, I don't understand why children live in a different house. Like, we are not birds, we are human beings, and we are the society who always preferred and grew up living with grandparents, great-grandparents, and all that. But these days, it is so heart-aching to see human beings, once they get married, they just move out of the house. I don't know who will take care of the older people. And it's so scary that they are building separate societies for elderly people. And what kind of pride does it bring? All the amount of unconditional love they have spent over the children, and you put them in a prison-like place and call it a sophisticated life, is where love fails. It's very hurtful to even talk about that.
That's the subject of your next movie.
Not really. I don't think I can handle that because I get really angry to even come across.
Anger is the best emotion.
Yes, Lord Krishna had told that in Bhagavad Gita. That's the purest form of emotion. That is there. And also towards animals. It's so, in a country like India where we are watching men pee anywhere in the street, sorry for my, losing the decorum, but I'm just being straight. And, there are people drinking and lying down everywhere in the roads and all that. But it is so hurting that Supreme Court has come up with an order where you have to feed animals in the designated area. I don't know which dog will read that board, which dog will go and ask where can I go and have my food.
In fact, that's very interesting. We have a lawyer here, Shreya Parupkari.
Yeah.
She's done so much work in that area.
Yes.
But it's true. Which dog is going to read the
Yes.
rules?
And why do they punish people who are in minority, who are because people are feeding the animals in the street, they are less aggressive. If they are going to give up, they are going to become even more aggressive. So love is the energy that differentiates gods from demons. If people do not want gods and going to have only the idols, then it is really going to be a scary place.
Absolutely. Geeta, I think she said so many interesting things, but I think for you, art education is the root of a lot of these things, right? And I think the work that you're doing in schools especially, talk a little about that and why it's so important.
Definitely. The future rests where? From the nursery, isn't it? You have to... I wanted to actually, tell the schools that art is not just painting or installations, painting or drawing for the wall or anything. But then, I found that many schools, I explored a lot of schools. I was with Times of India also, went around a lot of schools, and I found that art has
Wrong newspaper. You should have been with the New Indian Express.
No, but then I had a chance to visit a lot of schools and understand. But then nobody was listening to me. And then, of course, when I became an actress at 58, probably I got the entry. And I started, because whatever was in my mind, I designed a program. It starts from, mine is very institutional. It starts from the nursery. Like, what she said, she was talking about chocolates, happy food,
Yes.
no junk food, happy food, and then, healthy food. So you can't have happy food all the time. you need some healthy food also. When you tell that to the children, they come out with beautiful concepts, and probably then they'll understand that yes, they can also make happy food and make the people happy. So your chocolates will be welcomed. And here again, when she's talking about grandparents again, see, I take all these elements into the art themes. Relationship. So that's very important. So what do you call, how do you call your family, how do you want your family to have a happy expression? It doesn't mean that only your parents, it can mean your, the milkman, the watchman, the driver, whoever's helping you at home. So who gives you a wonderful expression, family expression? It can be an ocean of expression. It can be a solar system. It can be anything. You just come out with your expressions. So one child had done the digestive system, the brain as the grandparents, and then then everything. And then I always add a little. I want the themes to be a little humorous also. So add a little humor. Talk about your next door auntie or the uncle who annoys you at any event. So that's something we all go through. We are all very conscious about what others may say, what others may think. So that's where comparisons also begin. So so he said, they use it like one child, the solar system. I mean, in the digestive system, he said rectum is my neighbor auntie. But then. Anyway,
must be a very irritating
actually, one of the doctors, Dr. Manjula, was telling when I was talking about this, you don't know how important that is. So, and one child, Pluto is missing. That's my neighbor's auntie. But she knows everything about my family. So that is how they come up with humorous, humorous way of expression. Also.
And also, I think, Geeta, I think the point that Mritika was making about senior citizens, locking them up in sort of like this prison-like situation. And the fact is that the older you get, the wiser you are, the more you can contribute to society, which you've shown.
Definitely, I insist them to talk about their grandparents. Many of them, they insist that they want the grandparents, they want my mother is the, boss of the family. And
yes,
that's wonderful. So,
Ritika, I also want to ask you about the uncertainty of the artistic life. It's A, solitary, and B, it's uncertain. You never know where your next paycheck is going to come from. And you have to generate your work yourself. And also, you're not sort of responsible for it. You need a team sometimes or things to work in your favor. So how do you deal with that?
I find uncertainty as the most interesting thing that tempted me to get into the industry, because life by itself is uncertain in every level.
Yeah.
But when I'm most aware that this is going to be my work, I thought I'll be able to face life when I could face my career. So, and coming back to solitary, people from normal man's point of view, they find creative humans' life as a life in solitude. Yeah. But I don't think so. Because as long as there is a bun in the oven, or when there is something brewing in your head, it's like the connection between the fetus and the mother, irrespective of the gender. A writer could be a man, a director could be a man, or it can be a woman. But as long as he's carrying the ideas, the thoughts, the imagination in him, he's got companions inside him. Right. He's never alone in this world at all. I find the rest of the work, if I'm given any other job with better pay or the better recognition, I don't think I'll be able to pick, because the other work is where I'll be set alone. I'll feel lonely. Here, with my art and our imaginations, it's very beautiful, and it's not as lonely as people assume it to be.
Wonderful. Nikita, what about you? Being a chef can also be very challenging. The hours are long. There's no real, time when you can go home. And, it's also a service industry. You're dependent so much on how people receive that food.
Right.
So it is very challenging. How do you handle that?
It is tough. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, although I'm a pastry chef. Just for instance, I think right now the festive season is on. So I have been coming home at 9 a.m. As in, I've been working through the night and coming home at 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Yes.
And going back to work at?
Going back to work at 3 p.m., 4
God.
p.m. So it is taxing. I'm not going to lie that it is sometimes physically draining as well. But I think also part of something that I enjoy. I get to zone out and really think about what I'm doing. What is it that, how can I improvise this situation for the rest of them who are working under me? And not to see this as a profession that is just physically draining. How can you be creative? Because that putting out any form of food, that is what brings out the creativity in us. And as long as I'm keeping that alive and not really letting that get to the others, which are all the staff and colleagues under me, I'm hoping that I can keep that alive, because as a person who is creative, that is really important. The minute you are too tired to think about anything else, your creativity really gets, there's a full stop or there's a pause, and that is something that we don't want to do. I think it is somewhere that you have to bring in a balance. Sometimes I just want to sit and stare at the wall so that I think of all the other things that I can come up with. And sometimes we're just like working endlessly and tirelessly to bring consistency. So it's a balance of both. And we want to make that better. It's not to say that chefs are always just going to be in the kitchen. They want to go visit a factory one day. They want to get exposed to, being at the farms one day, go talk to farmers, understand what is it that can keep the nutritional value of the food intact in order for us to process it. So it's a whole genre of things that we want to bring alive beyond just the kitchen. So that is something that is also an onus that I take in terms of being a chef, that, let's just get out of the kitchen today, go to other places, explore, think what you can do.
Saraswati's farm, her millet farmers.
Yes, for sure. I'll definitely things that we love doing. And while sometimes it can be long hours and physically strenuous, it is not the entirety of the work. So there are moments where we're just like, finish, wrap up, go get a life. You have a life other than the kitchen. And there are moments where just all together and sitting down at the community table after we've had a long day, where we just sit and eat and say, oh my God, it's been a long day, is all
And
that
I
we
believe
need.
chefs usually eat the simplest food.
Yes.
It's usually dal chawal or...
Yes, absolutely. A lot of the times when, like, my friends are calling me over for dinner and they're like, oh my God, I'm having a chef over, I need to go all out. And I'm just like, listen, just make me rice and sambar or dal chawal and bhindi. That's all that we want. We want just...
By the way, bhindi is Mr. Chawla's favorite food. I think he can have endless amounts of it.
Yes. So we are generally eating very simple food, but when we travel, it's like we carry another stomach.
You have to taste the world.
Yes.
Great.
But yes, we want to change this whole concept of it is very strenuous, so I'm not going to do it. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it can be really fun. So we are trying and bringing the balance.
So all of you, one last thing. What does creativity mean to you? What is the one thing that, it means to you, or what would you like to see, one change that you'd like to see, especially as far as women are concerned? Nikita, you go first.
I think it's the whole isolation that something is meant for only a certain category of people. That is something that we want to break away from. And it's also so to say that you can bring in your own freedom. So it was always a narrative that I cannot be financially independent, but you very well can with the skills that you have. So that is definitely a change that I personally at some point in my life want to bring about. Saying that if you can cook, if you have that life skill, you can do wonders with it.
I think Anthony Bourdain said, if you can't cook an omelette, then that's the least thing
Yes.
that you can do in life.
Yes,
Then you don't
exactly.
deserve to exist or some such thing.
But yes, I think there are so many people who can cook and do wonders
Yeah.
with it, but they're just not able to bring it in a structured format
Right.
or bring it in an organized fashion where they can monetize that.
Yeah.
So the whole isolation that only a certain class of people or a certain gender can do something is something that I want to break away
Yeah.
with being associated to cooking. And the second thing is creativity exists anywhere. Like,
Yeah.
I think something as simple as you thinking about adding, let's say, kodampuli into a sambar, except instead of a tamarind, you've brought in a spark of creativity.
Right.
So it exists everywhere. We just need to sort of sometimes step back and look at it with a different lens. And yeah, I think this is what I want to bring about for women.
Yeah. Geeta, you're a rich woman now, I suppose, thanks to acting. So you're financially independent. Is that very important for young women to know?
Definitely, definitely. You
Firstly,
have
how
to
rich
be-
are you?
Sorry?
How rich are you now?
As simple as 3 meals a day.
Okay, that's enough.
And you can see me in the cotton sari, that's enough.
Yeah.
As
So,
long as,
but being financially independent is important. for
definitely, it's very, very important. So that, you don't have to go stretch your hands to anybody,
Yeah.
whoever it is. It's very,
And-
very important.
Yeah. Mritika, one change you'd like to see for women?
In the world,
No, here, anywhere.
like, women should not lose their femininity in the name of feminism. That is
Okay.
something I would like to see. Yeah.
Well done. Thank you so much, all three of you, and we'll carry on with the program. And thank you again. May you have much more success in life. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. May I now request Lakshmi Menon, our CEO, to come on stage and deliver the welcome address and welcome our chief guest, who's been listening very patiently. Thank you so much, Justice. Please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you to yet another edition of the New Indian Express Group's Devi Awards here in the vibrant city of Hyderabad, a place where tradition meets tomorrow and innovation meets inspiration. The Devi Awards celebrate women who shatter the class ceilings, rewrite rules, and lead with courage and conviction. These women are leaders, dreamers, and above all, doers, turning every single obstacle into stepping stone on their path to success. This evening, as we stand in the proud heart of Telangana, we salute the women who have been pioneers, from social reformers to entrepreneurs, technology innovators to artists. Women of Telangana can run multi-crore enterprise, lead a movement for change, negotiate complex business deals, and still ensure that the family is cared for. Their unstoppable spirit is the reason this land is home to so many inspiring women leaders and trailblazers. We're honored today to have with us as our chief guest Justice V. Ram Subramanian, chairperson of the National Human Rights Commission and former judge of the Supreme Court of India. Sir, your distinguished career exemplifies justice, integrity, humility, and dedication to the nation. Your gracious presence elevates the celebration of women's achievements. To everyone joining us this evening, welcome to this gathering that honors the Devis among us, women who turn challenges into opportunities and continue to make India proud with their passion and perseverance. Let's begin by saluting the spirit of the Devi, the power that nurtures, leads, and transforms. Welcome to the Devi Awards, Hyderabad.
Thank you so much, Lakshmi. May we now have the lamp lighting? Lakshmi, may I invite you again? And Mr. Chawla, may we have you on stage? And Justice Ramasubramaniam, may we have you on stage to light the lamp, please? Sorry? Oh, and, okay. And Kalyan Chakravarti, sorry, you're in the room? Kalyan? He must be working, of course. But if we could have him here, if someone could just tell him to be here. Kalyan, are you here? I think he, as usual, he's working somewhere quietly. Thank you so much. May I request Justice Subramaniam and Mr. Chawla to stay back on stage? Thank you very much for being much ahead of time and for being here. May I now request you to come and give us the welcome speech? Thank you.
Mr. Prabhu Chawla, Mr. Menon, distinguished invitees, the awardees, a very good evening to all of you. When Mr. Prabhu Chawla sent me a message last week, after boarding a flight to Amsterdam, if I could make myself available for this award function, I readily agreed for two important reasons. Reason number one is that today, if there is a media house which still maintains certain ethical standards, it is the Indian Express. The second reason is that it is the Tamil version of the Indian Express which also made me a writer of things other than judgments. I was only writing judgments in quotes, I was writing judgments. Okay, now Judges are required to affirm that they are writing judgments. I was only writing judgments, but Dinamani, the Tamil version of the Indian Express, or part of the group of Indian Express, made me a writer in Tamil. The second reason why I accepted this invitation was that it is only in places where women are celebrated that human values will still be retained, according to me. Swami Vivekananda said in those days that it is only in the houses of pious and educated mothers that great men are born. Of course, the day when he said this, feminism was not even something which was known so widely. India has certainly made a huge progress in terms of women empowerment. As a matter of fact, the New York Times, 2010, they published a very interesting report about the status of women in India. Let me now read out what that report dated 27th January 2010 said about women in India. These are the statistics that New York Times gave. HSBC, JP Morgan Chase, Royal Bank of Scotland, UBS, and Fidelity International are run by women in India. The second biggest bank, ICICI, is headed by a woman. This was the report of 2010. The third largest bank, Axis Bank, is headed by a woman. The head of the investment banking operations in Kotak Mahindra and JP Morgan Chase are women. The head of the equity division in ICICI is a woman. Half of the deputy governors in RBI are women. Entire central board of direct taxes at one point of time comprised of women. One in India's big bank, insurance, and many management companies is headed by a woman in India. And the report concluded, thus, in contrast, no woman leads a bank in US or UK. Therefore, we have certainly made progress in the field of women's empowerment in India, but still, we have miles to go before we reach our goal. I had an occasion to scroll through this pamphlet which was kept on the table. People of my generation still have the bad habit of reading the print material. Otherwise, all communications are only wireless. In a lighter vein, I used to say that today our cooking is fireless. We have a chef here. I don't know whether she cooks fireless. Our cooking is fireless. Our communications are wireless. Our telephones are cordless. Our sweets are sugarless. Our education is valueless. We are jobless. Our bosses are brainless. I am sorry if the Indian Express boss is sitting here. I don't mean any disrespect to anyone. And ultimately it says our salaries are less and less. So what has happened in a country of this nature is that we live in a world of paradoxes. This is a country which has always worshipped women on the one hand and crushed women on the other hand. At temples, we worship women. At home, we crush women. This is the paradox in which we have lived for quite a few centuries. I do not think that is how our civilization began, but somewhere in between, we have lost track. If you want to be a man of learning, we were taught that you must worship the goddess of learning, namely Saraswati. In fact, my wife's name is Saraswati. So I used to say in a lighter vein that instead of going to libraries and acquiring knowledge, I acquired Saraswati. That was a shortcut to success. And if you want to acquire a lot of wealth, you go to the god of wealth, namely Lakshmi, not Lakshmi Menon. I don't know where. And if you want to acquire valor, you go to Shakti. Shakti itself means empowerment. And look at the way they created women in our mythology. We had Brahma, the creator. We had Vishnu, the preserver. We have Shiva, the destroyer. And each of them gave a particular place to their women. Brahma gave a place to Saraswati in his tongue, because it is through tongue that people will come to know whether your top floor is full or empty. Vishnu gave his concert a place in the heart. I always say that if you are a man of wealth, it should be reflected in your heart. If you do not have a good heart, there is no point in being a man of wealth. And if you are a man of valor, you cannot have Shakti, and that is why Shiva gave half of his body, the better half, to Parvati Devi. So while we had this on the one hand, we also had, over time, started disrespecting, ill-treating women. And that is where the society fell out of grace. But fortunately, in recent times, there is a momentum gained. In fact, I am happy to be here in this 2025 year, 34th edition of the awards function, for one more reason. I do not know how many of you know that the first International Women's Year was celebrated in 1975, and this happens to be the 50th year. If you look at the statistics, Indian Express has awarded 405, I think 405 or 435 women achievers so far. That number keeps increasing is a reflection of how the society is making a march. It is of course true that the third wave feminism has faced a lot of challenges. As a matter of fact, there was a lady by name Anne Mary Slaughter. I do not know how many have heard about her. She was a professor of politics and international affairs at Princeton University. She is an international lawyer and a political scientist. She was the former president of the American Society of International Law. She was formerly the dean of the Princeton Woodrow Wilson School of Public and International Affairs. And when Obama was elected, he appointed her as the director of policy planning in the year 2009, the first time a woman occupied such a post. After a 2-year stint, Anne Mary Slaughter resigned. The reason that she gave for resigning was something very interesting, which I think women in this audience should know and introspect. She said while resigning her job in the year 2011 this: juggling high-level government work with the needs of two teenage boys is not possible, and women cannot have it all. This is what Anne Slaughter said. This resulted in a huge backlash from women activists. Sheryl Sandberg said that it is not true, and balancing life and work is something that you have to manage yourself. But as one of the panelists very rightly pointed out, that it is not necessary for anyone to lose the female character to be a feminist. I really welcome that statement for one reason. There was a person called Lisa, she was the Lisa Jackson. Lisa Jackson said, to be a strong woman, you don't have to give up on the things that define you as a woman. She said, empowering yourself does not have to mean rejecting motherhood or eliminating the nurturing or feminine aspects of who you are. But it is a matter of choice for you. Either you can choose to be a careerist, and that debate gave rise to a very interesting statement 50 years ago. That statement was that the society of women is divided into two parts: happy homemakers and unhappy careerists. 50 years ago, this is how the Western world looked at feminism. But today things have changed, and we truly celebrate women not merely in temples, but at home and in public places. And newspapers, media houses like this should continue to celebrate. And as chairperson of the National Human Rights Commission, I see every day as to how women struggle in society, at workplaces, at home, at public places. Therefore, it is our duty as a good citizen to learn to respect women, and even if you are not able to do something for this progress, at least you need not be an obstructionist. That is the least that men can do. With these few words, I congratulate the awardees. In fact, the awardees range from people on stage, people behind the stage. We had we had a chef, we had an author, we had an actor, a housewife turned actor, correct? Homemaker turned, we don't call them any longer housewives, homemakers. Because homemaking, in fact, I take pride in saying that Madras High Court, the first High Court, which recognized the monetary contribution that a homemaker makes. It is not measured in terms of money, but High Court said it has to be measured in terms of money. I am compelled to say that the court has done something, because I heard a comment that the court did not do much about the animals. We have done a lot, but unfortunately, what attracts media attention is mistakes and not what we do rightly. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I think that was very well said. If you can't help, at least get out of the way as far as the men are concerned. I think that's the least that they can do. But I think men have been allies as well. I think they've done quite a bit. And where they have been allies, I think society has benefited. May I now request Mr. Chawla to give the memento to Justice Ramasubramanian, please. Lakshmi, would you like to join him on stage? Since you were talking about Saraswati, I think we have a Saraswati here. Oh, Lakshmi, sorry. Lakshmi is giving Lakshmi. Thank you so much. Now to the meat of the event, the Devi Awards, and we'll be reading out the names and playing the videos which tell you exactly what these wonderful women have done. So we begin with Elahe Hiptullah, I think Hyderabad's favorite filmmaker. See, you're so popular, Elahe, for co-creating some of the finest series in recent times, finest entertainment in recent times. May we have the video, please?
Elahe Hiptullah, Indian film producer. In a city of many tongues, she lets each speak its own music. Law's spine, cloths drape, cinema's light, one continuous thread. Names on the marquee, fingerprints on the fabric. Between the camera and the crowd, she keeps the room honest. Behind every frame, a negotiation. Behind every negotiation, a principle. The New Indian Express honors Elahe Hiptullah, Devi of the Reimagined, a room where argument and art share the lamp, backstage run like a heartbeat.
I'd like to quickly ask you what Hyderabad means to you as an inspiration. I mean, you've been here, you've done so much work in this city. Just tell us a little bit about what it means to you as Muse.
So Hyderabad is home. So when you're at home, you're comfortable, your mind can do other things, and then we create. And one of the most, thank you for mentioning Hunt, which is our latest show, but what I'm extremely proud of is Khan, the casual space that we have made, and my co-founders are sitting in the audience. Thank you very much. I just wanted to say a couple of words. One was that thank you for making me a Devi. It is, thank you for the honor, Indian Express. Thank you for, it's humbling to be with the other Devis here. And with the empowerment in my power, I hope to make this world a better place.
You are.
And I hope to speak out freely against racism, casteism, classism, fascism, and genocide. I wanted to recite a poem which was extremely inspiring for me, which is, the only uncommon word here is rehzan, which means highway robber. The poem is, लोग तुम्हें समझाएंगे, वो तुमको खौफ दिखाएंगे, जो है वो भी खो सकता है, इस राह में रहजन है इतने, कुछ और यहाँ हो सकता है, अरे और तो अक्सर होता है, लेकिन जिस लम्हे में तुम जिंदा हो वो लम्हा तुमसे जिंदा है, ये वक्त फिर ना आएगा, तुम अपनी करनी कर गुजरा देखा जाएगा.
Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. A special round of applause for her. Thank you so much. The next award of the evening goes to Shreya Paropari, lawyer, for her constant activism for those who cannot speak for themselves. May we have the video, please?
Shreya Paropari, lawyer. Order in the court, water in the bowl, gavel to gravel, evidence to empathy. The law's straight lines curved toward kindness. Where cruelty loses teeth, her checklists grow them. Due process giving way to true process of care. A witness that cannot speak is still heard. The New Indian Express honors Shreya Parokari, Devi of Shelter. Speed without haste, firmness without rigidity. She makes compassion admissible because neutrality without empathy is negligence.
Shreya, a quick word on, I think, the increasing cruelty that we see not only towards animals, but towards other human beings as well. I see a rise in it. I know you have a very bad cold. Thanks.
I'll have to echo what I'm saying. All the isms are connected. There's intersectionality. As long as there is sexual casteism and so many other isms, there is going to be cruelty, and it's only going to be on the rise. There are very few ways that people can help, and everybody can help. A Devi to me, Dr. Jane Gujral, who recently passed, she said that everybody can make a difference. You have to choose what kind of difference you will make. I think the easiest way to help animals is to not eat them. Very controversial. But also, like Lordship said, there has been in animal law, at least the jurisprudence has expanded greatly in the last decade and a half. Yes, the errors probably get more attention than the positive progress. But I want to take a minute to talk about a very important campaign in that sector. It's called More 50. We've been campaigning for No More 50 for a decade now. There's only one legislation that regulates animal use, and it's to prevent cruelty. It's called the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act. It's a 1960 regulation, and unsurprisingly, it was something brought forth by a woman, the first woman member of parliament in sovereign India, Srimati Rukmini Devi. And it's a little dated. The maximum amount of penalty for animal cruelty in that law is 50 rupees. So that regulation is a bit dated, and we've been campaigning for that law to be amended, for the penalties to be corrected, and hopefully serve as an actual deterrent to cruelty. But again, I'll go back to saying that the easiest way to help animals is to not eat them.
More power to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next Devi of the evening is Dr. Rachna Bhandari for her seminal work in molecular science. May we have the video, please? Little louder applause. Come on, wake up. Yes.
Dr. Rachna Bhandari, scientist. What is inherited may be interrogated, the unseen becomes legible, uncertainty named, a discipline that keeps its promises slow, taming flux into regulation, her map molecular, the journey human. Signals arrive like light, responses learn to be kind. The New Indian Express honors Dr. Rachna Bhandari, Devi of Inquiry. Evidence first, elegance always, rigor carried steady. Studying the punctuation of life, failures stack into footholds.
That's more like it. Thank you so much. Rachna's work is so intricate that I dare not ask what it actually means. But I do know that we need more women like you in science, Rachna. Why is it important?
Thanks so much for this honor, this opportunity, and also the privilege of being part of so many accomplished women. I want to say a few words on behalf of all academicians, all the scientists, and I want to shout out why the pursuit of knowledge is important for its own sake.
Yes.
We seem to always be asked as scientists, so why do this and why do I care? Why is it important to society? I want to share that the pursuit of science, of knowledge, we do it because we find it exciting. Then I have to think about why it's important to society. So it's a selfish pursuit in some sense,
Yes.
but it always has an application. So this has been the week of the Nobel Awards.
Yes.
And the Nobel Awards honor fundamental discoveries. It is, they're interpreted as how they have been applied today, what was discovered decades ago, and how it matters to us today is how it's interpreted. But I'm pretty sure none of those scientists envisioned what they were doing, why it would be important. They did it because they thought this was something really cool to do. So blue sky science, which is how we call pure science, basic science, it doesn't receive enough support, and I'm happy to have that recognition today because that's what I do. Talking about Nobel Prizes, it's a statistic that only 4%, that is 27 women have been awarded the Nobel
We
Prize
need to correct that.
out of 645.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just such a sad number.
Yeah. So dismal.
Only 16% of faculty in India are women in STEM, but we have nearly 50% in the PhD. So there's that leaky pipeline that really needs to change. And thank you for this recognition and the other scientists you have recognized through these awards, because I feel that it is recognition such as this that will inspire the women, the young men today, to be leaders of tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So well said. Devi evening is Saraswati Maluvalasa. She is a farmer entrepreneur for creating a sustainable business model with the Millet Sisters Network. May we have the video, please?
M. Saraswati, entrepreneur. Sometimes justice is grown, not decreed. On threshing floors, she wrote policy in husk and dust, strung villagers into a necklace, binding soil to sisterhood, small grains that make a large promise. In the liturgy of livelihood, she fingers seeds like beads. In cracked drylands, the map of her impact edible. The New Indian Express honors M. Saraswati, Devi of sustenance. She does not ask the land to be generous, she teaches it how.
Saraswati, congratulations. And I think I want to ask you about the perception that we have as farmers in India. They're not.
Yes.
They're mostly women. Talking about that.
Thank you, the new ministers, for this great honor in the name of Devi. So, yes, actually, our journey starting with is a question, because there is no land without touching of women feet. There is no plant in the earth without touching of women hand. But there is no space, there is no recognition in the culture, there is no for women. So our journey is starting with that question. Now, our ministers almost, they are feeling their own sustainability. So this award, this Devi Award, really honor and recognition for our ministers who are struggling for their, sustainable livelihoods, who are struggling for keeping their seed sovereignty and also protecting their biodiversity. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
And Chef Nikita, you promised to use them millets, I think. Where is Nikita? I hope she remembers. Okay, the next Devi of the evening is Anu Acharya for her pioneering work in genomics. May we have the video, please?
Anu Acharya, entrepreneur, making the genome speak in an Indian tongue. A cartographer of the unseen, she draws maps of being, threading foresight into the loom of destiny. Between data and divinity, she finds the pulse of health, a cosmology of code where superstition once ruled. The New Indian Express honors Anu Acharya, Devi of the genome. Where chromosome meets community, she stands as interpreter to read the body's blueprint before its walls crack, a daughter of physics who found poetry in the helix.
Anu can't be with us today, so she's asked her representative, Deepika Ralapalli, to be here. Is Deepika in the house? No. We'll have to send it to her then. Thank you so much. The next award of the evening goes to Anjani Reddy for her celebratory art, drawing from folk and tradition. May we have the video, please?
Anjani Reddy, painter, painting boundaries, then breaking them with a brush as metronome. She measures strokes of time, pays attention as tribute, makes light linger at the edge of a cheek, lets viewers finish her sentence. Studios and seminars, the palette of a curriculum, a tradition handed forward, not down. The New Indian Express honors Anjani Reddy, Devi of Color, stillness with a pulse, a city of color, beheld without noise.
Anjani, may we have you on stage, please? Anjani is here with her granddaughter, right? And I think she's smarter than her granddaughter as far as technology is concerned. Anjani, I wanted to ask you, what is art's place? The more technologically advanced getting, and AI seems to be doing everything for us. Art is still important. Why is that so?
Thank you. A very good evening to everybody. Thank you to New Indian Express and the chief guests here and the Chapla, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm not of many words. My language is different, I'm afraid. But still, I would say that the human touch in art cannot be replaced, because even any kind of technology is lesser than human mind, I feel. So the human touch is, when the human touch goes, I don't think the world will survive.
I hope that doesn't happen, at least not in our lifetime.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. The next award of the evening goes to Dr. Palukuri Lakshmi, surgeon, for her work in the field of burns and plastic surgery. We have the video.
Dr. Palukuri Lakshmi, surgeon, returning mirrors to those who stopped looking. Where fire inscribes its sentence, she edits with mercy. names the current, classifies its ruin, roots a way back. She built the first skin bank so flame would not speak last, to teach the body the grammar of return, persuade it to remember itself. The New Indian Express honors Dr. Palakuri Lakshmi, Devi of the graft. Keeping vigil where pain first arrives, she never bargains with ruin, she outlasts it.
Dr. Lakshmi, in your line of work, you must be seeing so much pain and trauma, but what keeps you going despite all that?
Good evening, everyone. I would like to call my husband also. He's with me.
See, only a woman will do that, call her husband. A man will never call his wife when he's getting an award. Where is the husband, please?
Dr. Srinivas, he's a HOD neurosurgery at Osmania General Hospital. I thank the New Indian Express jury and the team who selected me for this Devi Award. We both work for the government sector for the last 25 years, and I especially for the last 20 years to the plastic surgery, reconstructive and plastic surgery at the government sector. And in this society, for the government doctors, there is a lot of criticism. But I was surprised when I got the message. I got selected for this award. I called and asked on what basis I was selected. So they told there is a jury and they have selected. I thank God for recognizing my services for the last 25 years for the dedicated services to the government sector. And refuse any patient coming to Usmania with the misery and anything which I could not know. I learned and did the surgery and got the relief. I'm very proud. For a premier institute Usmania, I'm the first lady HOD of the Department of Plastic Surgery, which was established 53 years back by Dr. D.L.N. Prasad Garu. So, I'm the student of the same department and now the HOD. So, I have lots of desires to develop the department. So, we established a skin bank in 4 years back. I think most of you aware of eye bank and the other banks, but blood bank, but not the skin bank. So we could able to save the children with more than 60% burns as well as 70 to 80% burns in adults. So we know very well, small burn also will give lot of pain, but the patients with high percentage burns, survival is a very difficult thing. So the skin bank is the new concept. The skin can be donated after death. So immediately after death, within 6 hours, the team from the skin bank, if you give the information, they reach to the place where the death happened and they collect the skin from the lower limbs, not a part of the body, and they dress it. It will not cause any problem at all. And it takes some 30 to 40 minutes time, and they get that skin to the skin bank and process and clear the infection and everything without that, and that skin can be stored in skin bank for 5 years. So it can be used for the patients who lost the skin, So the kidney donation, heart donation, liver donation, they require life, like live donor. So the heart should function. But skin or cornea, there is no, immediately after death, if you give information, the team will go, but the skin banks are very limited. Ours is the first skin bank established in the Telangana state.
Excellent.
It was for
Excellent.
the 2 states. And team from Usmania, 24 hours, all the days. At any time, if call comes, they go to the 20-kilometer circle, they go. Because of lack of other facilities and satellite centers, we cannot extend these services throughout the state. But in future, definitely, there many more skin banks will come. And this is a gift from the Rotary Club, East, Hyderabad East, and donor is the Hetero Drugs.
Thank you so much.
50,000 of rupees were donated, and plastic surgery department is extending help to save the extensive burns.
Thank you. A huge round of applause to that. I think you learn something new every day. I didn't know about this at all. Thank you so much. Thank you. The next Devi of the evening is Mrinalini Rao, designer for her refined fashion sensibility. May we have the video, please?
Mrinalini Rao, fashion designer. The first wearer is not the last chapter. Precision visible at arm's length. Soul visible up close. Confidence tailored softly, made slowly to last loudly. Reverse applique, the past revealed by patient removal. She spins threads for stories, not for seasons. Designed to be inherited, never replaced. The New Indian Express honors Mrinalini Rao, Devi of heirlooms. Discipline and devotion cross-stitched together, the wearer completes the work.
Mrinalini, how important are Indian textiles to Indian fashion? Why don't we see more of that?
As a designer myself, I started making a collection that I was extremely passionate about. Through the process, we figured how much hand craftsmanship means to the wearer as well, the person who is investing so much money, and they deserve to get a pure fabric and, the purest form of hand craftsmanship. So we kind of right now employ about 400 hand craftsmen.
Well done.
And we only do handwork. We do
Wonderful.
not entertain any machine work.
Thank you. I think what you're wearing is hand.
It's handcrafted.
Oh, sorry, just quickly, what craftsmanship is that? What embroidery is that?
This is a combination. So since I'm in Hyderabad, I combined a little bit Zardozi with Kachi. It's all hand embroidered thread work.
Great. Thank you so much. That was the inner fashion in me. We all love fashion, don't we? The next Devi of the evening is Rekha Lahoti, gallerist for making art accessible. May we have the video, please?
Rekha Lahoti, CEO, Kalakriti, India. Memory coaxed into argument, art a form of pedagogy. Festivals that refuse facile spectacle keep the city talking to itself, a gallery that opens doors and closes arguments. Curated convocations of reciprocity, she prefers the tenure of influence to the transience of accolade. The New Indian Express honors Rekha Lahoti, Devi of curation. If art is civilization's memory, hers is the memory's keeper, polishing each shard of the past until it reflects the possible.
Rekha, we were talking earlier about art in public spaces and how most of our art in public spaces looks like public. What can we do to fix that?
Thank you so much for bestowing this award to me. And this morning I got a message that Rekha Devi, so the award has all become popular. Like I said, my name hasn't changed.
No, that's very good for us, publicity.
So what you said, so ethos of Kalakriti India is public to art and art to public. This is what we conceptualized in 2002. So we'll be celebrating 25 years soon. And I don't know, these years really flew by because art is such an engaging and constantly evolving place. In Hyderabad now is being recognized as an art destination, that India Art Fair coming to Hyderabad itself from Delhi, sir, your place is something great. Yeah. So I'm really thankful, and how we can give back to the city and to the society. We have been persevering, giving scholarships so that the art fraternity grows, as well as Kalakriti Gallery does a lot of events which are non-commercial too, so which is very much required in the field of art and culture.
Thank you. Thank you so much. The last award of the evening is Talluri Pallavi, AI Innovator, for her work in creating a new AI-assisted app. May we have the video, please?
Talluri Pallavi, AI Innovator, small town patients with big horizon thinking. From intake to insight, a tool that listens in your own words. Computer vision and human revision for simpler choices, stronger days, trading miracle speech for measurable change. The New Indian Express honors Talluri Pallavi, Devi of Bytes. Privacy of nutrient, data close, purpose closer. A compass, ordinary plate, pocket lamp for everyday decision.
Pallavi has told me not to ask her any questions. I think she's very shy, but you're probably the youngest among all our recipients. How old are you? 22. Wow, great, wonderful. If this is what you're doing at 22, I don't know what you'll do. Thank you so much. Thank you, all of you. And may I now request Lakshmi Menon to come and give the vote of thanks? You want the photo? Okay. So let's have the photo. Could all Devis come with their trophy, please? Deepika, you're here. Can you come with the Anu Acharya's trophy? Sapna, can you? Kalyan, can you please come to the stage? You escaped us last time. Come here. Deepika. Here. Arranging everybody perfectly is going to take a little bit of time. But please give it up for all of them. Huge round of applause. Come on. Can we get so? Come. Little louder. Kagni, I think you should stop front. are never satisfied. You have to get that perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you, all of you. Lakshmi, may I request you to give the vote of thanks?
As we come to the close of this inspiring evening, on behalf of the New Indian Express Group, our heartfelt gratitude to Justice V. Ramasubramanian, Chairperson of the NHRC and former Supreme Court Judge, for graciously joining us this evening and presenting the awards. So your presence has added immense dignity and depth to this celebration of women who are reshaping our world with their courage and creativity. A warm thank you to our presenting partner Adani for their continued support of the Devi Awards. Your faith in this initiative allows us to keep spotlighting extraordinary women across our country. A gratitude also to our silver partners from Healthy Cooking Oils and TGS and Company, our associate partners Manipali Jewellers and India Circus by Krishna Mehta. Our gratitude to our celebration partner, Radhiko Kaithan, who's been with us throughout this journey. A special thanks to our silver partner, Telangana Tourism, for their collaboration in celebrating this evening in the City of Pearls. A big thank you to our wonderful awardees, our very own Devis of Hyderabad, who've inspired us tonight with their incredible stories. You are the reason this platform exists, and your journeys remind us that empowering and empowerment is not an event, it is a continuing movement. To our audience, thank you for your presence, warmth, and encouragement. May we continue to honor, celebrate, and emulate the women who make a difference every single day. And may the Devi within us all continue to shine. Thank you. Please join us for dinner.
Thank you so much, everyone. You've been a great audience. Thank you so much to the Devis. Please enjoy yourselves. Dinner served. Thank you.
You